We're here on Media Row, of course. Danny, Adam, Mike Golic Sr. here, and I don't know if I'm thinking way back to the day, right? The ESPN days, and Mike,
right?
And I don't remember if you went by Senior at the time.
I didn't.
So,
and it's
so much as
weird
Mike
now.
Jr. being.
Yeah.
That's why I hesitate. It's like, do I say Senior?
So
I didn't feel like I needed to.
Two things. It's like I only started going by Senior once I started working with Mike. So it's his fault for getting in the business,
naturally,
and my fault for naming him Mike Jr. So I guess at the end of the day, I have to look in the mirror and own this one.
Does
it's my
feel
fault.
strange doing an interview without Mike Jr. around at this point?
No, I prefer it, quite honestly, because I would expect him being the son to bend the knee a little bit more to the father,
sure.
But he doesn't.
No,
he has his own thoughts. Who knew that? I can't believe that.
How does the conversation differ when you guys are off camera? I mean, are you still having the same discourse?
Still pretty
and the
much.
Rest of your family's just like, shut up. We've heard enough.
We pretty much, yeah. We have different thought processes on things, and he is not afraid to express that at all. But no, we all get along. We're a very, very close family. It's something that I will never take for granted, being able to work with him.
Of course, you are a veteran of, then Radio Row, now Media Row. How is this just in your years coming to this event, covering the event? How has it changed?
Well, I think just for one of the things is the name change, right? Media, because there were never any cameras.
Right.
The only cameras were on the big sets around Radio Row, right? That were TV shows. It was either TV or radio. There was no streaming. Now you have to be careful where you walk. You just walk to a radio table. Now you're walking in front of a streaming camera. That's probably one of the biggest differences, and just how you deal with everything is everything, and nothing is really taped. Sometimes you taped it for a different segment or a different day, but now with podcasts, you never know when it's going to be on, right? You don't know if it's live.
Sure.
You don't know if it's Memorex. you just don't know anymore.
So how about just in terms of the game in general? It's two teams that certainly didn't have a high probability of being at this stage. The Seahawks, you could argue a little bit more so, but just them matched up against each other seemed a bit unprecedented. In years past, we have teams where we have a bit more understanding or expectation. How does this match up into those?
So it's like, what do people enjoy more, right? The Tiger Woods effect of someone dominating a sport,
sure,
like Kansas City had done and always being there, or do you like it more wide open? I'm sure there are different thoughts both ways, but either way, they're the two teams left standing. Yeah. And they both have been played great at times during the year. New England catches this rap that their schedule was tough. They played some of the or schedule was easy. They played some of the toughest defenses in the postseason. Now, did they catch a break? Bo Nix was out. Yes. Bad weather in the second half. Now that affected both teams, and both are bad weather teams. But I think they both deserve to be talked about. But that's an interesting thing with Radio Row is this year, or Media Row, people talk more about other stuff than the game. The game is not getting a ton of buzz, which is a shame because it's the biggest sporting event we have in North America.
Well, so I was going to ask you, what are you tired of talking about? What are you tired of being asked about? What do you wish somebody would ask you about? Sounds like you just want to talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind talking about other things as well, but a lot of times it's like, oh, we got 30 seconds, let's talk about the game, and throw out a point or two about the game, and all of a sudden that's it. So I think these two teams deserve much more respect. Mike McDonald's in his second year.
Right.
Vrabel has been a coach, but first year, and how he turned around a 4-win team last year, it's really incredible.
Yeah, so let me ask you this then, sticking with the game. You mentioned the
I thought he was going to go. So anyway. So what do you think of Bad Bunny, the halftime show? Yeah.
There we go. We'll have to save that one for sure. You talk about this Patriots team strength of schedule defensively. Now, this guy's a diehard Patriots fan, so him and I will bicker on this back and forth. I'm a Bears guy, so we were hoping to get that matchup. But nevertheless, he's got his team here talking about this defense and their easy schedule. I'm curious if it's a product of the level of competition they face during the regular season. And then you look at the postseason, they've certainly taken a step forward, especially in the red zone. But then you look at some of those offenses, the veteran Aaron Rodgers, C.J. Stroud, terrible game.
Yep.
And then the backup, I'm struggling to identify how legitimate this defense is.
Well, I think the defense is very legitimate. I think the offense and defense complement each other really well. They're a very clean team. It's kind of Belichickian, which makes sense because Vrabel was under Bill, in the fact that there's winning games and then there's letting the other team lose the game.
Sure.
And New England plays a clean game and waits for the other team to make a mistake. And that would all eyes would be on Sam Darnold, who threw 14 interceptions in the regular season.
Right.
Is he going to turn the ball over? Because that Seattle defense is for real on every level. But I think New England is a really good team. I don't look at the schedule they played. They got through tough defenses in the postseason. Now, Drake May has turned the ball over a little bit. He's got to stop that. But he's been pretty dangerous with his legs.
Yeah. So do you expect a lower scoring game in that same vein?
I do,
of these
because
defenses are
I
good?
don't think the Seattle offense is great.
Yeah.
And I think the New England defense is really good.
Right.
And I think the New England offense has struggled a bit, and I think the Seattle defense is great.
Right.
So I think it'll be a little more of a rock fight.
Who ultimately, because these are the conversations that, believe it or not, here at this table, we're having some of these conversations with people. The thing that I keep thinking about, because I'm with you, I think it's a lower scoring game. A lot of people are on the over. I don't really understand why. Maybe because of Seattle's defense having issues with the Rams and multiple games,
Yeah, they have struggled in the post.
But, I still look at this and I'm trying to figure out, all right, who's the X factor? Who is the guy that is going to break this game one way or the other? Is it Darnold kind of, turned into a pumpkin and defecating all over himself like, Jet Sam Darnold? Or is it going to be, finally, for the first time this postseason, we're going to see MVP Drake May?
Oh, I think a guy like Kenneth Walker is going to be a difference maker. He shared the backfield with Charbonnet, who gets hurt and is done. So he's the man. He had 3 touchdowns a game ago?
Yeah.
Was it a game ago? He had 3 touchdowns. So I think he could be the key of running the ball. You don't have to put the game on Sam Darnold's shoulders if you can run the ball and play great defense. That's the hallmark of a Super Bowl champion team. Running game. We have great quarterbacks in this league, but running game and great defense, and you have a great chance to win. Especially if
I have a great chance.
Well, listen, New England has a good 2-headed running monster. No doubt about that. And excellent receiver in Stephon Diggs, but I'm not sure that this Seattle defense is just so good.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you with Kenneth Walker. We were talking about it yesterday. You hate to see Charbonnet go down, but truly it feels like a benefit to Walker, who's succeeding with a higher volume.
More carries. It's like Derrick Henry would get better as the game went on.
Exactly.
Sometimes a back needs more carries to hit their stride.
Yeah, no doubt. So aside from Kenneth Walker, maybe on the Patriots side, who would you point to being that X factor outside of the obvious Drake May? Who's someone who you think they need to step up?
Hunter Henry, maybe. You look at a tight end.
Bad against tight ends.
It's exactly right. Who's always a quarterback's best friend is a tight end. How well do they cover up Stephon Diggs where you have to use the tight end? So I'm always looking for a tight end to play the middle of the field.
So who do you think does win this game, and why is it the Patriots?
I think Seattle wins.
There we go. All right.
I think it's because of their defense. I think their defense is just so good on every single level. Drake May has got to hang on to the ball. He cannot fumble the ball and take possessions away from that team and give extra ones to Seattle. So I like Seattle in this one. I do think it'll be the under, though.
Love that answer. He's on the other side. Not even a Bears fan. He's not even. He's just against me.
We're just not letting you persuade people into what you want to hear.
You should be happy those are Bears fans.
Great.
Team,
I'm
arrow
pumped
up
for next year. It was a
Yeah.
blast.
You are here on behalf of Stella by Dexcom.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you're doing.
So I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 20 years ago at 42. And back then it was like I'd eat a meal, prick my finger, and test my glucose level and hope it was somewhat right. Now with modern technology, Stelo is a glucose biosensor you can get over the counter. You don't need a prescription for it. You can get it at Amazon. And you wear it and you have an app and it gives you real-time numbers on what your glucose levels are based off of your sleep, your workouts, your food you're eating. And now in a couple of months, they're going to have a smart food logging ability where you take a picture of the food you're eating and it gives you all the info about it. Protein, carbs, sugar, calories, everything. So you know exactly what you're putting in your body to help your numbers as well. So I can tend to be an old school guy, but for this, I'm very much modern technology. It keeps me on the up and up, keeps my numbers running right. Stello.com is where you can find out all the info.
That's really great. Again, Mike Golic Sr. here joining us on Media Row. So much has changed over the years. Thank you so much.
You got it.
We really appreciate it.
Mike. Pleasure.
Good to see you.